What up?
We never picked which questions we want to do.
Just read them all, man.
Let's go through.
Bring your little phone out here.
And Natalie, you want to grab those stencils?
What? Oh.
The
Yeah,
wireless one
Wireless one. Look at that black one.
or basic one?
Obviously, we're still not prepared. Hello, everyone.
Never.
Ever. But it's so fun, this.
Woo! You know how it is. You know, we had a little week
Chaos.
off, so we're coming back after a week off. So you know, let's gotta get back into the groove here.
Hope everyone had a good Halloween.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. Halloween's over. Spooky season's ended, unfortunately.
But it's fall, y'all.
Yeah, Christmas is coming, so let's keep the holiday cheer going. A lot of you I know are stressing out right now, but don't. You know, nothing you can do about it. Just gotta roll with the blows and
Live your
move
life.
forward and keep living life because life
Yep.
doesn't end just because we had an election. Trust me.
Nope.
Um,
Come let out your anger and get
yeah,
tattooed.
man, let it out. You know, spend some money, get some tattoos. Don't worry about it.
Good time.
We're gonna talk tonight about frequently asked questions that clients have or might have, and we're gonna go over some of the answers that we have.
Mhm.
And if we have anybody out there that's watching that wants to jump in and ask a question, or if you guys have an answer that you want to throw out there, go ahead and do that, and we'll read them off. You know, we'll keep track of that. We've got our apprentice Natalie back there manning all the comments, so she'll keep us posted on that. So, let me grab my phone real quick, so I can keep track of comments. What do I do with it?
Pause.
Pause. Which ones do you want to pick out, or you want to go through all of them?
It's just here. I'll ask a few. I'll pass it to you. Yeah, so what he's saying is like frequently asked questions.
About tattoos in general, the
about
process.
I think it's fun when people that don't have tattoos or are like not familiar with the tattoo process, when they start asking questions, because they're truly like, I don't think about it because I'm around tattoos all the time, I guess. But like, they're good questions, but I'm like, oh, you know, that should just be second nature. Let's go, we're answering some of these.
Come on.
All right.
Jeez. All
Let's get
right.
this thing rolling, Amanda.
All right, well, I'll
First
start with the question. The first question is, are tattoos safe? Let's answer this one.
Well, go
Safe
ahead.
as
Okay.
in, I mean, in context.
Safe as in, like, you know how some people think, probably like a lot of people and a lot of clients still ask about like ink being like, you know, allergic to ink and
Okay.
like metals with the needles and stuff like that.
So yeah, I guess
And
I
just
would
it being in your
say,
skin.
you know, if you're new to tattooing, if you've never been tattooed before, it's your first tattoo, I would say you're pretty safe as long as you're going to a reputable shop that uses reputable supplies. Most of our ink brands nowadays are pure powder-based pigments. They're mostly all natural. So, you know, if you were getting tattooed back in like the 60s and 70s, and you know, you've heard horror stories from back then. Yeah, I would say some of the ink back then may not have been the greatest. Who knows what they were putting in it back then? But I think most of our companies now have really kind of got it down to a science as far as keeping it really natural and not too harmful to the clients, you know, as far as your body. So I haven't had any issues. I mean, most of my ink, and I've been getting tattooed since the late 90s. So I would say, and none of my tattoos have given me any type of anything cancers or like I haven't had no issues as far as that goes. So I think you guys had any issues in your tattoos, and you've gotten
No.
you've been getting tattoos since what, 2000s?
Yeah, 2009 when I got my first tattoo. I've never had any issues with it, like ink wise or
Health wise.
I've gotten them infected, but that's been my fault,
Right.
not from the tattoo. Like there's definitely I can pinpoint what happened.
I think infection and stuff like that is definitely that's a chance you take no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Anytime you get a tattoo or a piercing or anything invasive like that, you have that risk. So really, if the procedure is done correctly and aftercare is done properly, I don't think they have anything to worry about. I
Right.
think tattoos are pretty safe.
I think they are pretty safe. We've come a long way. Definitely not back, like you said, back in the 60s where they're not wearing any gloves. Something's, nothing's covered. They're smoking a cigarette.
They're making
That's
their
not
own
really
ink.
happening.
Right,
Making
yeah.
your own ink,
Apple
also
cigarette
making your
ashes.
own needles, which I think is great. But at that point, like, I don't know. Not everyone should have. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
think
there's
some
some
of
people who
Some
were
of our
doing.
sterilization processes at that time really put together well.
Right.
So we didn't even have them. So you know what I mean? I think like I said, we've come a long way in over those years. So
Yeah. I would only say to also keep it safe is like a good advice to throw out would be like, make sure, I know it's like simple and like we say it all the time, but make sure you eat before you come get a tattoo. Make sure you drank plenty of water. I wouldn't come in super hungover. If you know you're getting tattooed at 12 the next day, probably don't get blackout drunk the night before. And make sure after the tattoo that you can rest. It is trauma to your body. So I feel like all of those steps are really important that people overlook too.
Yeah.
you have to take care of yourself. You're getting it's like getting any type of procedure done. Your body has to recover. So you have to be able to give your body what it needs, hydration and food and rest.
Mhm. All right. Our next question is what to consider when choosing your first tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
So Rachel, what would you consider? What's something to consider?
I would say for a first tattoo, I would do something, I don't know, I would do something somewhat meaningful or something that you won't regret down the road. I wouldn't do any type of like logo or character or person or anything like that. I don't think I would do lettering or anything like that. Like something, I don't know. My first tattoo was a little cancer ribbon. It was a very safe, nothing you could ever regret, and it's meaningful. So.
Mhm. So what I think you should consider is number one, when you're getting your first tattoo, research the artist. Don't just go into a shop and just take a walk-in. And I don't mean that mean because there are great artists that take walk-ins.
Yeah.
There's all of us, we have walk-in time all the time. But really like make sure that person, whatever you're thinking about getting, it's in their style. If you don't see someone doing a bunch of fine line tattoos and that's what you're looking for, it's not saying that they can't, but why don't you go to someone that does fine line tattoos and they look great every single time? Same thing if you're going to do American traditional tattoo. Don't go to a fine line artist that's primarily on their page.
Right.
So I think that's something to consider. The second thing to consider is like what it is important, but I think where you're putting it is more important.
Big one too. Yeah, where you put it.
I am a very live by the seat of your pants. So if you want to do a character, if you want to do some lettering, something silly, sometimes those still mean something to you. I have a Harry Potter quote as my second tattoo that I still love. It's matching with someone that I hate, and I still love it because it's a Harry Potter thing. But placement. Think about placement. Placement. Just because it looks good right there, at that time. Also think about aging. Think about other tattoos being added.
And how much space you have where you're putting that tattoo.
Mhm.
Like you're putting a small tattoo on your thigh or something, that's a whole piece that you're putting something small right in the middle of, which a lot of people don't think of, especially like
I think as artists, we think about that. I do, especially with a lot of my clients when they come in. Usually my clients are looking for bigger pieces. And so the first thing I'm thinking about when I look at the area is what else are we going to do to this area? Because if you're looking to do eventually a full sleeve, we have to make sure that we put the piece that you're wanting at that time in an area that we can eventually blend into a full sleeve.
Right.
So for me, anytime I get clients that come to me wanting big pieces, it is a struggle because the first thing I'm looking at is, well, what about the future pieces? What are we going to do here and how are we going to blend this and how are we going to make this fit and flow? And I think, like Amanda said, research your artist for sure. There's a lot of artists nowadays, a lot of tattooers out there. It's very easy to be deceived. So it's important to do research on the artist and on the studio too. There's a lot of studios out there. There's a lot of private studios. There's just a lot. So doing the research, it's really important for the client to take that time. It is sometimes exciting to just run into a tattoo shop last minute and get some little banger. But it could be the biggest regret you have when you're down the road. So I always tell my clients, like, hey, I may not be the right artist for you. My work may not be what you're looking for. do your research. Look through my portfolio, look through the artist portfolio, make sure that what you're looking to get done is something that they have and that they present in their portfolios, as Amanda said. And then talk to the artist, let them know what you're thinking so they have a very clear understanding of what it is you want. And hopefully your artists are going to be honest with you and tell you whether or not it's something that they want to do.
Yeah.
But first tattoos are for us, we try to give you an experience. I think first tattoos are super cool. I love when our clients come in, it's their first tattoo, they're all nervous, they don't know what they want to do. And so giving them a really awesome experience, make them feel super comfortable and relaxed, that's really important too. So definitely research your studios, make sure the studio you're going to go to is a nice clean studio, and it's going to be somewhere you're going to feel comfortable getting that first tattoo.
Okay, so since you said something clean, what about our next question? So obviously, how will you know if a tattoo shop is clean, and how do you know if it's like a clean, safe shop? You know what I mean? So how do you?
I think that goes back to like researching your studios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every studio will post the health department's rating, which should always be 100%. There should never be a studio less than 100%. That's the first red flag. Take a look around. It should never be an issue for you to be able to walk around and kind of check out the studio. Now, obviously, there's going to be some studios that have areas that are closed off to clients, and that's okay. The area that you're in, the waiting areas, the bathrooms, those should all be clean all the time. They should smell good when you walk in. A tattoo studio should be comforting and welcoming. And if it's not, that's another red flag. So definitely, before you get tattooed, don't be afraid to go in and just check out the studio. Most tattoo shops hopefully are going to be welcoming to you coming in and checking out their shop, hopefully wanting to get tattooed.
Yeah.
Check them out, do your research.
That's what I think. For me, it's also like you can walk into a shop and you can it's a smell for me. It's a smell. You can smell even like if, the artist smokes cigarettes or whatever, even if the door's like opening and closing, because sometimes they'll smell like outside when you first walk in. There's a certain smell in a tattoo shop that I just know that they're a clean shop. Yeah. And it's always pine sol mixed with medicine. It's like those two mixed together. I'm not saying it's like mustard gas or anything. I'm not saying they're mixing those two products. Right. You can smell the floor cleaner and you can smell the medicide. That's how, I don't know why. I can look around, but if I smell those, I just instantly feel more comfortable. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Smells are a lot. You don't want to walk into a shop and smell BO or must or
for real. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah.
But do your research.
Do some research,
and check the reviews. Check the reviews of these shops. Most people will review a place they go to, and a lot of times they'll say whether or not it's clean in there or what. I know for us, we have a whole bunch of reviews of people just talking about the cleanliness of the shop and how it looks. So that's really big.
And this studio being way bigger than the last studio, it's been an undertaking. There's still so much work we want to do to the studio to kind of get it back to what we had at the last place, our vibe, So bear with us, because in the next couple of years, I'm going to give you guys a really badass shop for sure.
Okay, so next question that people ask is, okay, so I think it's more like on a first tattoo. So we'll go back to that first tattoo. Is it recommended to pick something small or go big for a first tattoo? What's everyone's opinion?
I think it depends. I don't know. It's hard to anticipate what it feels like besides just what people say and what you read on the internet, whatever. So I think, I don't know, a lot of people that are very heavily pierced and stuff like that, I feel like they normally sit pretty well for tattoos. And even just I know I have a lot of young girls who have just gone through it in their life. They've had surgeries, they've broken bones, they have a high pain tolerance. So they knew before getting their first tattoo, I've had girls that have gotten their whole back done, spine tattoos, huge tattoos on their arms, their collarbones, and they sit perfectly fine. So I think it really just depends on, you have to know yourself a little bit.
I think it depends on the design too.
In the design.
Really fine line.
Yeah.
dainty tattoos.
Simple shading, not a lot of
Yeah.
no color or anything like that, no black.
Now, unlike me, who if I do a big tattoo, it's like a full saturated sleeve.
Right. So
That's
different.
that's a little
Yeah.
bit different. You know, a lot of my clients, their first tattoos, and don't get me wrong, I've had clients come in and blast half sleeves first tattoos. Like it's really on the client. Like some people can, if they want it bad enough, they're gonna sit through it. You know,
It's all
and
mental.
it really is. And tattooing, because it is self-expression, and because sometimes it really it's getting us through something. Some people will sit through it if it's the first one, especially if it's a loss of a loved one or if the tattoo has some really deep meaning to them. It's almost worth getting through that pain. You know, it's almost like a closure, you know,
Yeah.
or healing for them. So it is like a per person basis. But I think if you're nervous about getting your first tattoo, then you should think about that when you're picking your designs or when you're coming up with what you want. You should kind of keep it somewhat small, somewhat
Yeah.
simple. Keep it in an area of your body that's not too painful. You know, kind of get used to it. You know, I always tell my clients, when it's your first tattoo, you really have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
You kind of have to go into it open-minded and just take it for what it is and accept it. And then the next tattoo, then you have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
But that first tattoo, it's an experience. So it really is just part of it, getting through it and getting in your mind, getting right. You know, I'm saying take care of your body, and then the rest just kind of flows. And then once you get that first one, man, it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of stuck on that. I don't think you should get a big tattoo as your first tattoo. I don't care how well you sit. I don't care, you know, whatever. I
Don't
think,
care?
yeah, I don't care. And it's not, I'm not trying to like downgrade anyone for not being strong or not being able to handle it, but it's a lot of trauma to your body. I don't think it's necessarily sitting for the tattoo. When you get a big tattoo, after that tattoo, it is like there's a chance that you can get, they call it the tattoo flu. After big tattoos, I feel like crap. I feel like I have the flu. I feel like I'm sick. My whole body hurts, or I'm tensed up. And I don't think people like really consider that. Because like even if you can sit through it, your body is tensing up so much that when you finally do relax, everything's so sore, like a good workout times 1,000.
I'll take a nap.
Yeah. And so I think you should do something small first. Now there are people out there. I've seen people come in for their first tattoos with him and get like half sleeves done, get their whole chest blasted, and sit there like nothing. You guys are one of a kind. Y'all are rare.
Really crazy.
You're my favorite clients.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do that. I just want to make sure you guys are okay afterwards. That is wild. So no, I say small. But
What about placement? What do you think about placement for first tattoos?
Oh,
You know, we get a lot of people for their first tattoos.
Want
They want it
rib
on their
tattoos.
ribs. They want it on their hands.
For your first tattoo, I will, as me as an artist, I won't tattoo a hand as the first tattoo. I won't do a throat.
No hands, necks, or feet. Or faces.
Yeah, I'm not doing any
No
feet.
faces.
And yeah, no faces. That's just my opinion. I'm not doing that.
You gotta earn that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that is something. Also, I'm a firm believer also in right now it's a job stopper still on those
Yeah,
hands
it
and that
is.
neck.
It really is.
Not only do you have to earn it, but after that, like sometimes it can seal your fate that you're working at the Casey's.
It also changes people's perspective on you. You can ask Amanda, as soon as you get that neck or that face tattooed, people's perspective change on you. Doesn't matter who it is, who you are.
And I mean, so Isaac has like black tattoos on his neck, you know, they look, you know, he's tatted up, you know. I literally have a beautiful flower that's in pink on the side of my neck. I'm telling you, old ladies grab their purses and are like, oh my God. And I'm like, really? Like this is what set you off? But it does.
I've
It's
actually been okay since I've done the stash. I actually have
No, I think he's cool. Everything's good. But yeah, no, I'm also not a fan of doing ribs on the first tattoo. However, like Rachel said, those young girls, y'all young girls,
You all want
y'all
them.
want them. And some of y'all sit like
They hate it.
champs. But I have seen others, and I'm sure if you're watching, girl, you'll know, that are holding on to the wall for dear life.
I gotta sit on you and hold you down.
And I mean, and at that point, once you're in it, you're in it. They don't want to give up. Of course, we never ever say that we can't stop. But we need to get to a certain point so that we can re-stencil. If not, you know, it's gonna
We can't
We
let
might
you
not be
leave
able
with a
to.
line on your side.
Yeah, looking all janky, get out of here.
Yeah, but we, obviously when you need to stop. So I think those are
We
it.
take breaks and we breathe it out.
Breathe it out. Drink some nice sodas.
So next question.
Next question is we already went over that one. We already did that one. And then okay, so are you or everyone's concerned about the tattoo aftercare? So like, are they prepared for tattoo aftercare? It does seem to every time that I do someone's first tattoo, I mean, at least 6 to 7 questions about aftercare. Like, what can I do? What can I not do? I think we've touched on it a good amount, but it never hurts to touch on it again.
I think we should talk about Aquaphor.
Oh my goodness.
Because that's a big one. I think you should explain it.
So back in the day, using stuff like Vaseline, Aquaphor, AD, that was something that people did.
Some people still tattoo
some
with
people
AD.
still do. Yeah, I mean, the idea was to keep the tattoos moisturized, right?
Mhm.
But people take it too far, and the tattoos stay wet.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want. Okay. The buildup of plasma and all that stuff, like you really don't want that. You want to kind of keep that off. The best thing that I have seen in 20 years of tattooing is lotion, straight up lotion. Now, I understand most men don't use lotion, and I understand that it's hard to carry a big bottle of lotion everywhere you go with it. And I understand that your body absorbs lotion crazy fast, so it's hard to keep up with it. That's why the tattoo industry has created all these amazing products for you now to use. You just got to do your research and get online. They all have so many different ingredients. Stuff like Aquaphor and all these petroleum-based or jelly-based products, they create this barrier over your skin. It clogs up your pores and allows those tattoos to not properly breathe and heal. Okay? A lot of those tattoos you guys are coming back in here and they're all faded out and you got all these spots and everything. It's the rough healing from using those products. You got to think, when you smear that Aquaphor on your arm, you go to work, you got this long sleeve on, and you're working, you're bending, that shirt's sticking to your arm all day. And next thing you know, you go home, rip that shirt off, and you rip the whole layer of your tattoo off, right? Get some good products, man. You got the Tegaderms, the Sanoderms, the recoveries, all these derms and dams out there that you can put over. They're clear bandages. They work amazing. They really do. But some people have reactions to the adhesive. So there are other options, right? You got the Hustle Butters, you got the Mad Rabbits, there's Ink Beetle. There's a number of products out there. And we've gone over some of them here on the show a few times, and we'll continue to do, maybe next week we'll go over a couple more. But really, just do your research before you get tattooed. You can pick these products. Most of them you can pick up locally. Hustle Butter you can get right at Ulta. Mad Rabbit you can get right online, and it comes very fast.
I'm pretty sure you can get it at Walmart and Target too.
We also are a distributor of Mad Rabbit. We do have Mad Rabbit products here.
We'll have Hustle Butter again too here soon. So any of those products, we recommend. We always try to use the Sanoderms or the recoveries after we do the smaller tattoos, especially if the client is kind of like wary about that. We'll try to, explain to it what they can do for them and have them use that as their aftercare for the first few days. It really just kind of helps get started. And then from there, it's just about keeping it moisturized. You don't have to go crazy, lathering it all up and all that. It's really about just keeping the skin nice and moisturized, allowing the tattoos to breathe, and they will heal fast. My heal rate on my tattoo work is usually between like 5 and 8 days. Yeah. People
it's taking longer than that. You're not following the directions.
Or you're doing something wrong. And we're always here to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask your artist about aftercare. Yeah. What they recommend. Every artist is going to tell you something different.
That's the key too.
Yeah, it's always been that way. So really what it is most artists know what works for their tattoo process.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what you need to take into consideration. When they're explaining to you their aftercare, that's something they're trying to push what they believe is the best. They're trying to explain to you what works the best for the way they tattoo and the way their tattoos need to heal.
Correct.
So ask the questions, pay attention, and really consider what they're telling you. And also ask them, hey, are these products okay to use? I'm thinking about ordering this product. Or before you get the tattoo, during the consultation process, ask them, what is the best product I should get for after? So you can have it. You can order it and have it. Some artists that are even ambassadors or sponsored by some of these companies might even be able to give you a discount code to get a little bit of a price cut on some of these products. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt, do your research, talk to the artist. Don't be afraid, man. Speak up.
Yeah, that is. And only thing to add on to that is listen to your art. I know he said it, but listen to their directions. They normally give you a piece of paper, just follow it. I get the other tattoos did it a different way and they healed okay, but it may not heal for this. We may have had a black and gray compared to a color piece, which does heal a little bit differently and things like that. So just listen. Just listen. I promise it's good.
Do we want to review those stencil printers?
Yeah, well, we have one more question that I'm asking.
Okay.
This is one last question, then we'll do our review. This isn't on our list or anything. This is a fun question. Okay, so what is the favorite tattoo that you have on your body? Your favorite tattoo on your body? And shout out the artist or.
Well, that's easy for me. My favorite tattoo that I have on my body is the portrait of my mom. So that's probably the most meaningful tattoo I have. I mean, I've got my kids' names, I've got my kids' portraits, but obviously, my mom, that's my mom, and I got that portrait, I think, before she passed. She didn't actually see the portrait. So that was really amazing. And the artist, my mentor, Tyree, shout out Tyree out there in Vermont. He did that for me. And that's definitely my most meaningful, my favorite one.
Okay, Rach, what about you?
Jeez, I don't know. Well, clearly, as you can see, I don't have a whole lot of tattoos, so I don't have many options, but probably either, I don't know, I just love them all. Probably this one on my wrist that old Samantha did, Tats by Sammy. And it's just an I with an O in it, 4 T's, because that's my last name, so that's all it is. Nothing crazy, but I just like
the
it.
fam.
Yeah, representing the fam.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
I have 2 favorite tattoos.
It was the portraits I did of her of Andre 3000 and ODB from
Okay, so for real though, it is ODB right here on. That's one of my favorite, and I'll come over here so you can see too. So you can see. Yeah, it's pretty dope. That's one of my favorites, honestly. Like, that's one of them. And then my second favorite is my neck, probably. Which I have the flower over there. I'm gonna do another one over here. I just like how it looks, even though I said it changed my perspective of like people or perspective of me. I love it a lot. Samantha did that. That's my
Shout out
Sammy.
to
Sammy, and then so I think those are my. And then the last, I have to show one more. So I have a funny one. I have a camel on my toe that also is one of, it's like for real, like a great one. It's a great conversation starter.
And it looks good still for it being on the top of your toe.
It's not a bad camel toe.
It's not.
Yeah, look at that camel toe.
Yeah, I don't shout out Cynthia Wentz.
Just zoom in on the screen.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, those are our questions. Hopefully you guys got some answers answered if you have those questions in your mind as clients. You can always comment, and we do respond to the comments on here. If you guys are watching this later on, tomorrow, next week, next Friday, whatever, you can always comment and we'll get back there and respond to it for you. We're gonna quickly go over a couple of products here. We got this. So if you follow us on TikTok, we got this product. It was a wireless stencil printer made by Moonbine.
I think it's Moonbine.
Moonbine. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. Moonbine. But it's this thing is pretty cool. And it's for real wireless. You don't need to be plugged in. I can make a stencil right now, right here in my lap. Okay, it's really cool. It's really easy to use. You just turn it on. You just kind of open this thing and put the stencil paper in, close it up. The app, it's super friendly. You can do it from your phone. You can do it from your iPad. The connection is super easy. I've used this thing a few times now. I got to say, man, it works really good. It prints out super clean. I haven't tried to print out anything with any type of shading or detailing yet. Mostly what I've done is just line work stuff. But it prints true to the size on your Procreate. If you're using like a 8.5 by 10 canvas or 8.5 by 11 canvas on Procreate, it does print true to that on there. It does have an option if you're doing a bigger piece, it'll print it out in sections for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, download the
that
app on
is
this
nice.
thing. I can tell you guys the app real quick. I think I have it on my phone. It might be, oh yeah, it's right there. It's called Luck Jingle. I don't know why it's called that, but it's called Luck Jingles, the app. And Yeah, get one of these. They're about $150, I think, on the TikTok shop. We're gonna probably do another review on the TikTok shop for them. But man, for traveling and stuff, you can really, it's a good printer, man. I haven't had no issues. It does come with a charger for it, but the charger is a USB-C. So really, if you use Apple products, you know what I mean? Like it's compatible with that. So super cool little printer. I like it. You know, I've been using it.
Yeah. And you said the only thing that you were saying about it though is that you have to use the paper for them.
Yeah, so they do supply their own brand of paper for it. It's just like Spirit, but it's not Spirit. And it's cut. I think they cut them instead of 8.5. It's just like 8 by 10.
Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
$8.
It's like a half-inch off.
It's teeny tiny.
Yeah.
But if you use their paper, it has no issue.
No issues at all. You can always cut the Spirit paper too.
Mhm.
Yep.
And this is the other one. This one, well, how long have you been using these? Because I know you've been using these for
So
quite a while.
honestly, like these little guys are off Amazon.
They're
We've
only
been using them.
$100.
Yeah, we've been using these since we opened the shop back in 2021.
Mhm.
We've probably gone through 2 or 3 of them by now.
I think we've gone through 2 of them.
2. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's about, yeah,
So it's not bad, and they've lasted a while. And honestly,
about 2 years.
the reason that they broke was user error. It was not the printer's fault. We broke it that last time.
Yeah.
But it is, I would say it's very sensitive. Like it's very sensitive what you do, and like cleaning it and stuff like that. You have to be very careful because it is very easy to mess up. And we have had like a couple like little problems with it just like not turning on, us having to reset it and stuff like that. But other than that, it's got a cord, so you have to plug it in. But you just lift this part up and click it down, put your paper in, and it's got pretty much everything. It's the same as that, but it's all buttons instead of online.
School.
Yeah, which I like better because I
that
like
right
the
there. It is so tried and true.
It's so
It's
easy.
so, oh my goodness. And
Yeah.
honestly, like the only time that we've ever, and I'm gonna fight for it because the only time we've ever had like issues where it's not turning on and stuff is days that we were super, super busy and we had already ran it forever.
That's
Or you
true.
need it.
So,
gets
and like
tired.
exactly, and then everyone gets frustrated. They're like, "I hate this thing," and he's like, "I'm gonna smash it," and we're like, "Hold on, let's just hit reset,
Yeah.
give it a second." But it is great.
I will say the one thing about these, if you do use these, is you have to remember to hit the mirror button. If you don't have the mirror function on, your design's gonna print out backwards every time.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the one thing.
Just click it and leave it on.
Sometimes I'll go back there and somebody will turn it off,
That's me
and I
usually.
will just lose my shit.
I always whenever I'm tattooing off, I have to put the mirror button back on.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't-
the other
I always
It
leave it
does.
on.
The other thing I will say about that stencil printer that I don't really like is you can't have too much black in your
Mhm.
stencil
Yeah.
because boy, that thing will pick up everything, and if the black's too close, it'll just make it one big solid chunk.
Yeah.
We usually have to take lint rollers to it,
Here's
get
a
the
lint
extras off.
roller works
It-
great.
Fingers get all purple.
You have to put it on like a white piece of paper. It can't be like a photocopy of something.
Yeah, that's
Well,
clear
yeah,
white.
it has to be
White
clear
line.
white. It
Otherwise,
can't
it'll
be
pick up every shaft.
everything.
So,
I
but other than
mean,
that, it's pretty solid.
I mean, it is
reliable.
solid.
It's reliable.
I love it. I'll
For the
always
most
use
part.
it forever.
Yeah, we've been using it
it's
for years,
reliable.
so.
You do your stencil
really is.
correctly. You do it. It's not too blacked out. It's got some space
Our
in there.
problem
like
is we all
tattoo.
have anger issues, so we're all rough with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so sweet.
It's not, they're not,
We
for the
love
price, you can't beat it. $100, you really can't beat it
$100.
for that. You know, sometimes they're less. I think I've even done it for like 80 sometimes. You just get on Amazon,
Yeah.
look for them, they're pretty cheap.
Black Friday, they're always super cheap,
Yeah.
and anytime they have those Amazon deals, they're always super cheap.
So if you're in need of a quick printer, if your stencil machine goes out and you really need it really quick, you know, that's an option for you guys.
100%. It's worth it.
We
It's
had
worth
another
it.
one. What was the other one? Fomio.
Yeah.
Oh, the Fomio one.
Yeah.
That one's a cool one too. It's the same concept. Rachel's grabbing it. It's the same concept as this one. But the only thing that I have to say on the downside of that one is that when you're using the app, you have to size it correctly, and it's hard to size it. However, if you can get it sized, if you can figure it out and kind of like get that down, It prints great. It's the same thing. It's wireless. It's solid.
And this one you can get off Amazon for like $50. It's super cheap.
Look how cute, and it's got like the
They have
little.
different colors.
Little
too.
We've got like the teal. It came with a little bag. It has a nice little charger. Also, if you scan the QR code right here, the great thing about this too is if you read the instructions and you follow the manual, it is so easy. It really is. It's not hard to understand. The other downside though that I will say, if you don't follow the directions, it will let you know by turning red, and until you fix it or restart completely, it will not let you move forward. Rachel knows all about it.
Let's say that paper.
I don't read directions, so man does the
Mhm.
direction reader around here.
But if you just read the directions, also this little QR code that's on top of it, it brings you up to the manual. So if you have questions, you can look up the questions really quick. But it's really simple. You just put the paper in there. It's the same as the other stencil machine, though. You have to use the shorter one. With this one, even cutting the spirit, I will tell you, it catches.
Yeah, size difference though.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
totally.
You can get a hardcover carry case.
And this is heavy. And
So
this
light.
one is super light. Yeah, this one's a nice
This
heavy.
reminds me of the SA printers. If you guys ever use the S8s,
and the little brothers.
little brother S8s.
We
Yeah,
have one.
yeah. I had one and I messed it up, but this is
You
very
still
similar
have
to
it.
that. So, and if I think operation is actually very similar to this, to the way you put paper and everything.
100%.
Like,
And you
these
got
things are nice too. These are really solid. I mean, if you guys are traveling a lot, doing conventions, you're doing guest spots a lot, and you're worried about having a stencil printer, grab one of these off the marketplace, grab one off TikTok Shop, keep it in your bag. You can't. I mean, all you gotta do is charge it up. Like I said, I don't think that one doesn't need it's wireless too, right?
No, it's a C charger. Yeah,
but
it's a C
you
charger.
don't need to have
You
the
do-
charger, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So the wireless one's the way to go. I mean, you don't need to have an outlet. You literally can
And-
use it anywhere.
We did the Atlanta convention and we charged it before we went, and we did not plug it up again until we came home.
Yeah, last
Yeah, they
well, we-
laugh.
And it was busy, so it's good. I like it. Nice
So
one.
definitely good little printers, man. Get you one.
They are. And our apprentices have these too. All of them have little ones because they bought their own little ones.
So
They use
fuck up my stencil machine.
Natalie.
censor that. Ding. Yeah, and but yeah, so check them out.
Definitely. All right, guys, that's our show tonight. Thanks for coming back and joining us. November is here. We've got a couple, 3-4 weeks in November to do some shows before December. Then we got Christmas holidays coming up. Don't forget, we got gift certificates, gift cards.
Friday the 13th in December.
We got another Friday the
Taking
13th coming
custom
up. That's right.
orders. We're also
Um,
going to be doing some cards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Christmas
we're
time,
holiday
man.
cards.
You guys looking for gifts, handmade gifts. You want to give the gift that you can never get rid of or resell. Tattoos are the way to go. Also, we'll probably do some piercing specials around Christmas time.
Absolutely.
We also have all of our merch and all of these custom jackets
Yeah,
and all
we wanna-
types of stuff.
We still got some of the shirts left from the last designs these guys did. We want to get rid of those. Then we're gonna have some new designs coming out. We got the jackets, very limited. We got the silly geese. And we got the hunter rose. And
Here's
then we got the
one of mine.
Rachel.
Sorry,
Fair
Mom.
So yeah, we got those left.
And the Monty's custom jackets.
Some
Yeah.
of Monty's jackets. Got the Mac Miller code and the Nipsey Hustle.
Yeah, we got the coconut crispy
We got a
line.
bunch of stuff, man. Come down, check it out. Get you guys some gifts for your loved ones. Or
Heck
get them a gift certificate. We always got walk-in availability. We've got a bunch of artists. We still got private booths available.
Yep.
We still got some spots in the bullpen available. If you guys have any interest, let us know. Come on
What's
down.
up?
Check it out. All right. Thanks
Come
a lot,
get
guys.
tattooed.
Come get
Yeah.
tattooed, man. Have a good night. Be safe out there. Be nice to your neighbors.
Peace, love, chicken grease.
Peace,
and
love,
wherever
and chicken
that
grease,
goes.
baby.
We had a pretty good amount of following. Sam was on there. Hopefully she's there for our shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Wilson. Big booty booty.
For real. Lay on her stomach.
Ah, we're still live on this one.
Hopefully not.
Oh, let me get out of it.
Yeah, we are. Leave studio.
I'm trying, man.
Ooh, where's the
There it is.
mouse?
All right, we're out.